Welcome to Interbay Stadium Pagliacci pitch. It is a pleasure to be with you again this evening following an exhilarating match earlier today at 2 p.m. Cole Weaver sitting alongside Ballard's one and only Cale Spence. It's a pleasure to be with you today, sir. Really looking forward to this match that we have in front of us. Ballard with plenty of history against Project 510 coming to us from Oakland, California. So much on the agenda, so much history, and so much to look forward to as these two teams square off in a sold-out, again, Pagliacci pitch, Interbay Stadium. It's good to be back in Interbay, Cale. How are you doing this evening?
Doing great. Thanks, Cole. Yeah, it's super exciting to be back here at Interbay for this super exciting playoff matchup. And it should be a good one. Brings back fond memories from our inaugural season, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And just for a little bit of history lesson for everybody listening in, Cale and I, two very local Ballard boys, both of us went to Ballard High School, graduated within a year of each other, ended up joining the Ballard FC team in the inaugural season 3 years ago here. And in that first season, when we won the Northwest Conference, we ended up playing Project 510 in this exact same stage of the tournament with a 2-1 victory that led us into the next stage, and we ended up going to Des Moines, Iowa for the next phase of the tournament. But we'll talk through plenty of that. You know, just to start with, let's go through a little bit of background and history with these two teams and the seasons that they've had so far.
Has his final indicator.
So last time out, this was Ballard FC a couple years ago against Project 510, and it was an end-to-end match. There was controversy, there were red cards, it was end-to-end soccer, and at the end of it, Ballard came ahead. But it started very early on, as we're accustomed to seeing a high-press, very aggressive Ballard team asking the questions very early on. And it really was all Ballard from the get-go. And for the majority of the game, this is what it looked like. As you see most of the Ballard team pressing high up the field, and the danger that they could potentially be exposed is when a team is able to break those presses, really truly and get in behind and experience a little bit of scrambling. Keely Kassim doing very well there, as we saw, to get a little bit of a hand to it and do some last-ditch defending. A lot of these Ballard players are also returners. We're going to see here in a moment Charlie Gaffney get in behind from a fantastic Peter Kingston through ball. He has Alex Mejia just in front of him, but elects to slot it home himself. Ironically enough, both of those individuals will be starting tonight, so plenty of experience and history there. And you'll see Cale and I run up and enjoy a little celebration with the boys next to the sold-out Interbay crowd.
Absolutely.
And the party continued. Ultimately, it was in the second half, as we're looking here, Takeo Nandera doing very good work to retrieve possession. Ball into feet. Alex Mejia doing so well, coming off a great season, and what a lovely finish this is. Peter Kingston with a cheeky little flick. Declan McGlynn burying it, and the iconic celebration running through the crowd. Cale, I remember how I felt. How did you feel watching that?
Yeah, just ecstatic. Sprinting to that corner to celebrate with the boys. Very good times in the Interbay crowd.
And ultimately, 510 did put up a fight towards the end of the match. As we saw here, they were able to bring one back. It was in the dying embers. And at the end of it all, that really was all to be said. A little bit of controversy at the end of the match as center referee pointed towards a goal kick. Clearly was a corner kick. Obviously, referees make mistakes. It is what it is. But then on top of it, they didn't allow them to proceed with play as they had elected for stoppage time to be completed, and they blew for the match. And so it ended up 2-1. Ballard continued on. We went to and competed for the Western Conference Finals in Des Moines, Iowa. Unfortunately, didn't get the job done that year, as we well know what happened the year following. Ended up into some fantastic results. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with you shortly to go through lineups as well as a little bit of pre-match commentary. 5 minutes to kick off here. Welcome back. We're just going to take a quick look at both of these teams that they've had, respectively, very fantastic seasons. Starting with your Ballard FC, ended up finishing the regular season with 9 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. One of the best goal-scoring records in all of USL2. That is not just in the Northwest Division. That is inside of the entire National Conference. 4th in USL2, 40 goals scored. And an all-time record of 18-2-0 here at Interbay. It's so fantastic to be back. Kale and you and I have so many memories here, dating back, I think, pre-high school, but especially through high school, especially through Ballard FC. So much history at this stadium, and it's a pleasure to be here to begin this national tournament defense.
It's great to be back, man. I remember some playoff games for Ballard and with sold-out crowds and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're going to have a fantastic night here back at Interbay.
Well, definitely don't go anywhere as we look at here the challengers, the returning challengers, Project 510, who, if anybody remembers a little bit of history against Ballard, was recently here at Interbay challenging for this exact stage of the tournament. This is a team that has had recent success. This is a team that has been here before. Throughout the course of this season, they ended with 9 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. They're on a 5 straight win streak with 16 goals scored, so they're very prolific in front of goal. And on top of that, they have a significant amount of professional experience. 4 players have made their pro debut for the feeder club that Project 510 is a part of, Oakland Roots SC. They're a part of the USL Championship, and on top of that, they're very successful, currently sitting in 2nd place. So many of these players have played at a level where this will not faze them. This is an environment they are very used to, and this is a level of soccer that they are very accustomed to. So at the end of the day, they're here for revenge.
For your Ballard FC! Goalkeeper, number 30, Charlie Lambert! Defender, number 24, Guy Briscoe! Defender, number 21, Damian Alvarez! Defender number 2, Christian Hagman. Defender number 33, Luke Evans. Midfielder number 35, Juan Alvarez. Midfielder number 23.
Apologies, everybody, for the technical difficulties. We are back. We've been here for hours, and the internet went down on us. Shout out to the tech team for working very hard and very fast to get us back up and running. The 5 minutes that you haven't been here with us, it's been a little bit back and forth. Soft opportunities on both ends of the pitch, but ultimately not too much to talk about. I want to spend a quick minute talking through the lineups as we missed the opportunity to do so earlier. It's a relatively unchanged lineup for Ballard FC. Charlie Lanfear's in goal. A back four unchanged since last time with Kai Briscoe, Damian Alvarez, Christian Eggman, and Luke Hammond. A midfield trio set up with Peter Kingston, Sean Sent, and Juan Alvarez. I'm going to get back to that in a moment as an early shot is taken. That was Derek Rock in the center of the park. And leading the front line for Ballard is Charlie Gaffney, Richie Yeaman, and the one and only El Tigre, Alex Mejia. For Project 510, in goal, Edwin Rodriguez. It's an interesting lineup, and Cale, Spence, and I are in the booth here really trying to evaluate what type of formation they've had, and it looks more like a 4-1-4-1 with a back four of Ulysses Ezekiel, Thomas Camier, Emilio Martinez, Ilya Alksev, Ali El Masnoui sitting in front of the back line with Roberto Gonzalez, Derek Rock, Eric Duncan, Cam Wilkerson in front of him, and then a lone striker with Julio Martinez.
Yeah, Cole, Derek Rook has been very positive in these first few minutes, taking on players on the wing. He's been positive so far, so maybe a danger man for 510 so far.
Yeah, both teams really trying to work out possession opportunities and weak points that they can look to exploit. And early on, both of these teams very willing to press. Kai Briscoe doing very good work defensively.
Well done.
Winning possession for his side, and a quick throw-in taken by Charlie Gaffney. Eventually cut out by Martinez and El Masnoui. Damian Alvarez fighting in possession and ultimately lets 510 go all the way back to their goalkeeper. Kai Briscoe always so unpredictable in what he's going to do, and flex for the chest bring down. Cale, you and I are Chelsea fans. We see that a lot with our boy Reece James.
Yeah, Kai is just an athlete, man. I've had the pleasure to play with him with the Tacoma Stars indoor, and he's something else. He's got the technical ability to go with just sheer athleticism. So great to have him in at right back tonight.
And credit to him. He's wearing the captain's armband alongside Christian Eggman, who we just saw launch a long ball forward and doing the defensive duties now on the other side. But it's a back line that's definitely missing a key figure of Leo Burney. Damian Alvarez more than capable of filling in with Luke Hammond in the left back position as we see him receiving the ball now. But this is a group that's played together before and definitely has chemistry. Jamin riding a challenge and winning a free kick. Our referees for this evening's center, Yannick Rothfuss. Two assistant referees on both sides of the field, Jonathan McKenzie and Cody Zip. Fourth official, Justin Rose, doing the officiating for this evening. Peter Kingston picking up the ball and good pocket of space. Gaffney infield to Sean Sent. First time looking to find a willing runner, but couldn't connect as he might have wanted to.
Yeah, I like the idea that Sean Sent's going for there, trying to break apart the back four as they reposition as the ball comes in from the right-hand side, but just off the mark.
Yeah, the position that Sean Sent has played throughout the year, it's been a very important role, as there's been some very key players in that position throughout the past couple seasons, Bailey Leatherman being one of them, Takedo Onodera, who's on the bench for Ballard FC this evening. Definitely wanted to make sure we highlighted that. But the role of a 6 is so vital in a team that maintains possession, has high pressing, and wins the ball back quickly. Look to see Sean Sent on the ball quite a bit, as he is right now. Amen. Mejia in a battle in the center of the park with El Masnoui. Juan Alvarez connects with Gaffney. Alvarez once more. Asking quite a bit of Mejia. Alksiv does enough to break apart and maintain possession for his side. Martinez. Long switch of play to Duncan. Well cut out by the much smaller stature of Luke Hammond. Gaffney in a little bit of space. Running at Ezekiel. Finds a ball in the box. It's Peter Kingston! Oh. Well blocked and deflected wide for our first corner of the match.
Cole, I love the way Ballard's attacking right now. They're really just putting 5-1-0 under lots of pressure early in the game. It's good to get the ball in the opposition's half early and then feel out the game from there. So they're doing very well at that.
Kale, how do you think Peter Kingston is feeling right now? Back at home at Interbay Stadium. We'll come back to that question. I'm sorry it was an awful time to ask it, but right into the hands of goalkeeper Rodriguez. But this stadium, it's so intimate. With the beer garden right next to that corner flag, with the Ballard FC faithful and bridge keepers back at their original home. The kids are on looking right on the side of the pitch. What a stadium, what an atmosphere, and what a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Peter's got the best place in the whole house, taking those corner kicks from right next to the beer garden, I'll tell you that.
Clever move on the near side by Alksiv, gets a service off. Kai Briscoe once more with the athletics over the top of Julio Martinez, but Project 510 getting their first shot off the match. Easy in the end for Lanphier. Okay, we tried to identify some tactical positionings for both of these sides. We were originally told that 510 is going to line up more of in a 5-4-1 formation, but very clearly we can see it's more of a 4-1-4-1 with in possession as they're in now, more of a 4-3-3 with a pivoting 6. How does that line up against more of a traditional 4-3-3 have we seen Ballard play?
Yeah, it's interesting going kind of from that back 5 that we were told to a back 4, but with El Masnoui sitting in front of that back 4, he's doing a good job. Just going to try to keep the tempo of the play going for 5-1-0 tonight.
As we see Ballard under a little bit of pressure here, Christian Eggman winning a free kick for his side. El Masnoui and Sean Sen, who's on the ball right now, likely having very similar roles to build the tempo for their side, maintain possession, connect defense to attack. So vital in any team that wants to have significant possession throughout a match. I think both of these sides want to have it. It's who's going to force the other's hand. Richie Amon, crafty and direct as ever. Recycles through Alvarez. Sean Sent tackled top down from Eric Duncan. And plenty of space on the near side as Gonzalez elects to go for the shot. Ends up being a very needed save by Charlie Lanphier. Not the cleanest hands he might have liked, but maybe wasn't expecting the early take. 5-1-0's first corner of the match. Yeah,
Gonzalez seems to have thought Lanphier was cheating across, looking for him to cross the ball in, so he elects to have a go on goal. Not a bad idea in the first 15 minutes here.
Usually for a goalkeeper, it's good to get your hands on the ball early. Maybe not in that format, though. Not the most confident of takes. As we see Julio Martinez offer a short option. Training ground routine. Ball sent in, easily dealt with by Christian Eggman. Richie Amon gives chase, but He's fast, but he's not that fast. Rodriguez skips his midfield, goes long. Gonzalez squares up to Luke Hammond. Allowed to come in field as Eric Duncan finds Derek Rock all the way to the far post. Missed control by Roberto Gonzalez. Wasted opportunity, but a very good build-up and a slight scare from Ballard as they're unable to force the matter how they might have wanted. As we're very accustomed to see Ballard looking to play out of the back, and that's what they try and do out here. Hammond into Mejia with a great touch, and Richie Amon's got the pace to keep the ball in play. Acres of space, and Alex Mejia is overlapping him on the near side. Elects to turn back, but it's Mejia on his right foot. Well blocked in the end, much needed. That's not where you might expect Alex Mejia to pop up, but he can score goals from anywhere.
Yeah, Cole, those are the good spots that we want Amon to pick the ball up, running at a defender one-on-one. That's perfect stuff, and then Mejia's there to clean up the seconds.
And immediately on the other side of the field, Rock has beaten Luke Hammond. Eric Duncan gets something to it, wins the second corner for their side for the match. This is end-to-end, Kale. We're playing basketball here.
Yeah. We got a proper football match on. Strap in.
I don't think there's any surprises with this. Both of these teams so prolific in front of goal. Would not be surprised if there's no clean sheets kept tonight. Serviced in, and it's Eric Duncan who wins the header just behind Sean Sent, who couldn't quite rise to meet the initial ball. Maybe a little surprised that it eventually got to him, couldn't redirect on frame.
Yeah, Duncan's going to be a threat up top. He poses good hold-up play and good aerial ability. So as he transitions from midfield to maybe a striker position, he might cause some problems.
Without a doubt, and not to be said, likely Christian Eggman would be the favorite to match up, as they're seeing running side by side at the moment. No stranger to an aerial battle. As we see them face up here, and Christian Eggman wins that one.
Love to see that.
Kale, should we start keeping a tally? I think it might be relevant. Peter Kingston driving at the back line. Tries a slip ball through, but can't quite connect. All the way through back to Charlie Landfear. Ballard retained possession. Hammond pocket picked. Eggman in a little bit of recovery, tackling, and very well done. Concedes the throw in, but alleviates any sort of immediate pressure.
Great tackle by Christian there.
That's a couple times now Ballard's been picked in inopportune moments. Through the legs of Richie Amon. Alex Sieve gets his cross off, and eventually it fell to Martinez, and he can't quite connect, but right as we go the other direction, Richie Amon, plenty of pace. Can he keep the ball in bounds? He does, says the near side referee. Sizing up against Alex Sieve, makes his way to the byline, gets past him. Ends up being fantastic defensive work, but Ballard win their second corner of the match back in front of the beer garden. Kale, this feels like a pensive environment, I have to be said. It's a sold-out stadium. We've got the bridge keepers, we've got the beer garden. People are lined up beyond and behind the goal line. We've got the bush keepers back in their favorite home.
Never forget.
But it feels like there's a little bit of tension in the air, as everybody knows what's at stake with this match. Peter Kingston with the in-swinging service, falls to Sean Sent. Doesn't go for the one-time volley. Kai Briscoe on his own on the halfway line.
You're fucking cooking tonight, man. Let's go, 11. Let's go. You are a chef on this left side. Let's go, man. On me, boy. Keep going.
Alvarez back to Lanphier. Chiaman drives infield once more, and center referee Yannick Rothfuss sees an infraction that he wants to call for. I think it's important to point out there's many Ballard FC players that are 3-year or 2-year returning members that have played against Project 510 in the past and had national tournament experience. Not a single member of this starting 11 for Project 510 played in that match 2 years ago. I think that's very relevant, as Ballard will remember this history, namely Peter Kingston on the ball right now. Richie Amon, a new member, fires into the back post just beyond Ian Mejia, who's had plenty of experience with this Ballard side, but again, the animosity towards Ballard and the previous experiences may not be boiling as high as one might expect. But in the Ballard 11, you have Christian Eggman, Peter Kingston, Charlie Gaffney, and Alex Mejia, all of which have been here the past 3 years and have beaten this team before. Cale, how much does that factor into the mental side of preparing for a match like this?
Yeah, I think it's obviously so good to have that continuity over the years and in such a short season to have that continuity of players that have played together, but also to have that psychological advantage of knowing that you've already done this before in past seasons and you've got by this opposition, so there's no reason why you can't do it again.
Without a doubt. It gets talked about so often with title defense seasons, returning players. But at the end of the day, I don't think Project 510 will care too much. They're here to win. Ballard's going to do everything in their power to stop that. Alex Mejia with some fantastic hold-up play. Referee allows play to continue, and very well done as Peter Kingston finds the on-running Charlie Gaffney. In-swinging service, but can't find anybody on the back post. Luke Hammond picking the pocket. Makes his way to the byline as Peter Kingston gets his service off, but nobody home on the penalty spot. Beckoning opportunity, and immediately down the other end. 510 can't keep the ball in play. Cale, at this pace and at this heat, and with everything on stake today, this is a game that's burning hot early.
Absolutely. No reason for either of these sides to believe they can't win it. But, yeah, what an atmosphere. I mean, like you said before, the fans are ready to hop on any sort of event that happens and grow the excitement around this great atmosphere.
And just for a little bit of knowledge, anybody tuning in here, earlier today, if you joined us for our previous broadcast, Almaden FC ended up losing to United PDX 1-0. We'll come back to that in a moment as Alex Mejia makes his way to the byline. Plenty of options in the center of the box. Gets his service off, and it's Richie Amon. Can't redirect on frame. Goal kick. But just earlier today, it was Almaden FC and United PDX faced off, and PDX ended up winning 1-0 and making their way to the next round of the playoffs. Conference semifinals, which will be back here at Interbay Stadium Sunday afternoon. The winner of this match will be facing United PDX. So everything to play for and nothing to leave on the pitch. Excuse me, everything to leave on the pitch. Got it backwards there.
Cole Ballard finding their feet early here. 25 minutes in or so. We've got the pace of the game figured out. Ballard are starting to win some physical duels and starting to take over the game.
And Kale, obviously with a lot of the coaching changes in the Ballard FC staff room, James Riley coming in and doing a fantastic job so far this year. You and I have both played against his teams through the years and had opportunities to have conversations with him. Might have to come back to that thought, as can't have a straightforward conversation. There's too much action here. Sean Sent, fantastic combination with Richie Amon, who's a live wire from the get-go. Driving to the byline once more, into the box. Referee awards a free kick, but he's saying it's well outside of the 18. First yellow card shown of the game. I believe it was number 48, Cam Wilkerson.
Cole, at first glance there, thought it was in the area, but on second thought, I think the referees just about got that one right on the edge.
Yeah, we'll likely have a replay here in a moment from our media team, and we'll get a closer look. Obviously, VAR not a part of USL 2, so this decision will stand regardless of what happens. The referees pull it out, the magic spray. Currently, Peter Kingston, Luke Hammond standing over this ball. Two-man wall on the near post. Kale, what do you favor here, a left-footed service or a right-footed curler?
I think from this angle, always a fan of the in-swinging ball. Hard for the keeper to see, especially with the sun in his eyes. We'll see what Peter delivers.
I agree. And it is Peter Kingston with the service, and it's fired near post straight up into the air. Duncan away on the seconds. I think that was the right decision, but ended up being good defensive play in the end. Kingston harassed and eventually bundled out of bounds. Questions asked by Eric Duncan, but center referee Rothfuss seeing nothing of it with the collision between Eggman. He goes just a coming together of bodies and off the ball play. Duncan was never really in contention to challenge. Eggman had every right to stand his ground. Amon, who's been one of the most dangerous players so far. Peter Kingston in plenty of space, doesn't elect to go with him, but finds Hammond. Great service, yes! And it's Peter Kingston! It's in the net! 28 minutes played and we have our first goal! The ball finds the center of the park. Elects to go out wide to Luke Hammond with a quality in-swinging left-footed service. Slight deflection, and Peter Kingston sends it goal bound, 1-0.
Love to see Christian Ingman going to run into Leo Burney in the corner to celebrate. Absolutely electric here at Inter Bay.
We have seen what this Ballard team is made of. Almost a half hour played on the clock. And per season regulations, Dick's Burgers must be thrown in the crowd. Feed the beer garden. They're hungry.
That's right.
Play continues as Ballard are unlucky with the referee stopping play. They were looking to take this atmosphere to a whole new level.
Cole, it's so important in these big knockout ties to be able to get that first goal. You'll see in the Copa America and in the Euros this summer, teams that get the first goal are able to dictate the play, and that's exactly what Ballard will be happy that they've gotten the opportunity to do.
Yeah, Kale, I think that's a really good point, and especially in tournament play. It's very different through a league season with point-based, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, goal differential, all of that. None of that matters here. all that matters is who wins. And Project 510 have everything to play for now, and they're definitely coming out of the gate strong with looking to retaliate. Lamphere with a great save. Down to his far post, it was Roberto Gonzalez with a firing strike. Trying to answer immediately, and Lamphere up to the task.
He does so well to push that out of danger for a corner kick with guys crashing in on the far post as well.
Very well pointed out, Kale, and that's coming from a forward. From a goalkeeper's point of view, that is extremely hard. It's very easy to get a hand to it, per se, but the direction that that ball ends up going, very could have easily been a tap-in on the rebound. Project 510 with a little bit of training ground routine. Near side referee keeps his flag down.
Oh.
And we have some confusion here. Offsides eventually does come up, which is what Kale and I originally thought about. The ball did make its way into Charlie Lamphere's net. He tries to play quickly,
Wow.
and the referee slows it down. Little bit of confusion.
Yeah, I think that is the right call. I think he was offside, but as the 510's players continue, they're not too happy about it.
Obviously, last time out, there was significant amounts of controversy. Peter Kingston ended the game on the bench as he was seen red. Ballard held on to a 2-1 victory when all was said and done. And Project 510 were not allowed to take a corner kick in the dying minutes of the game, much to the dismay of the players at the time. But we play on. And it's Peter Kingston, the goal scorer, on the ball here. Fighting in the center of the park, gets dispossessed. Esquivel doing well, but maybe dribbling just a little bit too much. Bailed out with the foul. Wilkerson with a crafty ball in behind. Peter Kingston getting something to it. Christian Eggman, or excuse me, it was Kai Briscoe originally. And Kai Briscoe once more away. Mejia fighting for the build-up play.
work.
Strong, winning the free kick. That's class from the big number 9.
So well done from Mejia. Hold off that center back. Very strong physical play, as we know he's proven in the past to be able to do. Very important work for Ballard to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, on the note of Alex Mejia, as we see another foul here on Juan Alvarez. But Ballard have had some very good strikers throughout the course of the season. Danny Burko electing to make a mid-season transfer to Little Rock FC. Would not be crazy to say that the Ballard FC and Little Rock could face off in an upcoming match in the tournament. That'll be interesting to see. But Austin Brumman, unfortunately, out with an injury. We hope he's doing well. Ended up going back to San Diego for rehab. But Kai Briscoe making his way in. He punches the turf as he had a clear shot on goal, but it hits the side netting. But I was trying to get to the point of Alex Mejia hasn't been in the team as consistently through this year as he would have liked. He's a personal friend of mine. We've had opportunities to chat, and he's been working ever so hard to make sure that he's ready for this type of moment. And my word, Kale, he's shown up when his team has needed him. Multiple goals in big moments throughout the past couple weeks. And now he's starting in an environment that he's very familiar with.
Well, it's so good to see Alex starting up front here. He's just such a presence, and you know that in any point of any game, he can pop up with a goal, and that's exactly what type of threat you want to have as your number 9.
Alex Mejia tied for second with a couple other individuals on the team for goals throughout this year. Again, Ballard scored 40 goals throughout this season, which was 4th in the entire national division of USL 2. So a very prolific team. Austin Brummett led the charge with 7. As we mentioned, he's out with injury, so he won't be joining us today. Likely tuning in from San Diego. Mr. Brummett, we hope you're doing well, sir. come back to that in a moment as Duncan wins possession. Cam Wilkerson into Gonzalez, fancy feet, looking to get his shot off. He does. Blocked by Alvarez, eventually away from Megman. Good work defensively. Gonzalez fighting in the corner against two Ballard players. Duncan with a half scorpion kick. Results in a goal kick. To finish my thought, though, Danny Burko, the other individual with 3 goals. Takeru Onendera, who's been away with injury for quite some time. Great to see him on the Ballard bench this evening. Hoping to see him play. And a little help from the Euro 2024 top scorer. That player's name is Own Goal. I'm sorry, that was an awful joke, but it had to be said. 3 own goals for Ballard FC through the course of the season. And Alex Mejia, the other individual, with 3 as well. Hammond with the interception. Alvarez fighting to maintain. Neither team really able to keep possession here as Peter Kingston comes away with the best. Mejia with a burst into space, but very good positioning in the end. Near side here, Rock faced up. Juan Alvarez doing very solid defensive work. Alexiv with the throw in. Loose touch. Richie Amon looking to profit. Clipped ball into play into, I think it was an offsides, Eric Duncan. Lanfear will collect. Kale, 37 minutes have flown by. We are almost at the end of this first half. Thoughts so far? Is this half panned out the way you might have expected? And from Ballard FC's perspective, we're going to have to come back to the next. Cam Wilkerson went for glory, picked up the ball in a fantastic area, scuffed his shot. But back to my question, how has this half panned out for how Ballard might have won, and how has this half panned out for how Project 510 might have wanted?
Yeah, I think Ballard's done a very good job, and this game's gone to how they would want. They felt out the game early and started to build a bit of momentum as the half went on, got that goal, and now would like to just set the tempo for the rest of the game. 510 haven't got too much productive attacks going forward, but obviously many players on the pitch that can pose a threat to the Ballard defense. But so far holding strong.
1-0 is a very dangerous scoreline. Ballard been in this position a couple times throughout the season and have definitely given opportunities to opposing teams. Very calm in possession and a lack of pressing as well, allowing Eggman to go away. And Mejia with the great turn goes for glory himself. And I'll tell you what, he connected with that. It might have been on target if it not were Thomas Kemier, the captain, intervening.
You got to give Mejia the green light to shoot from anywhere on the pitch, knowing what he can do, especially in playoff ties at Interbay, Cole. Oh.
Anything can happen. Damian Alvarez cleaning up well. Long switch of play to the near side. Derek Ruck on the ball. Alexiv. Kamier, the captain. Martinez. Into into Julio Martinez. Crafty player. Clean feet. Lamasui out back into Julio Martinez, who asks for a foul, doesn't receive. Roberto Gonzalez has looked to fire a couple times, and he does once more. Lanphier deals with it in the end. Took it on the second attempt. And another quality buildup from Project 510.
Yeah, it's been a good response from 510 ever since their goal. They're starting to press, and you can just see how good they are in these tight little spaces at the top of the box. But Ballard doing very well defensively.
Peter Kingston with a strong challenge into his target, number 9, Alex Mejia. Man on crowd, cries from the crowd. But again, pocket picked in these opportune areas. This has happened a couple times for the 510, but unable to really profit. Lanphier skips a couple lines. Juan Alvarez doing well in tight spaces. Kai Briscoe driving forward. Touch too many. Can't find his compatriot Peter Kingston. A little bit out of position now. But the ball out of play on the far side from Julio Martinez. Loose touch. Eggman. Richie Amon dropping short, allowing a little bit of space for Luke Hammond, providing the assist for that first goal. Richie Amon skips away from a couple challenges, continues to drive forward. Infield on his favored right foot, continues, finds the bounce back pass from Alex Mejia.
Finish.
And the keeper makes a save. Great work from Edwin Rodriguez to hold on to it. A fantastic move that really should have resulted in more. Richie Amon, unlucky in the end. Had great contact on the ball, but it was straight down the throat of Edwin Rodriguez.
Cole, that's the matchup that's been so profitable in this first half. Richie Amon driving at Alex Sieve at the right back position and others on that right-hand side, our left-hand side. He's doing so well, so just keep feeding him that ball.
Without a doubt, if it's not broken, don't fix it. The partnership between Luke Hammond, Richie Amon, Peter Kingston, and Alex Mejia is very profitable at the moment. Cam Wilkerson with a long ball really into nowhere, but seconds picked up by Gonzalez. Drives once more. Very good defensive work by Sean Sen, who comes away with it himself. Richie Amon once more, who's just full of energy and pace and ever willing to take on his defender. The overlapping run once more of Alex Mejia. Center of the box is Charlie Gaffney, and it's almost a Euro 24 special. The pressure continuing, and Alex Mejia finding himself in a left wing position. The man is blessed with strength. The man is blessed with finishing prowess and size, but he is not blessed with all the pace in the world. But very good hard work from him as Peter Kingston stands over this corner. We've seen this quite a few times. Back to Peter Kingston, in-swinging service to the near post, but disappointing in the end. Luke Hammond with the clipped ball all the way to the far side. Charlie Gaffney collects well. Skips everybody. It's Christian Eggman on the far post. And that's the player you want in that position. Can't redirect on frame. Credit to him. Gets up. Gets his hustle on. He gets back into the position. We love to see that from the big man.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again. Christian's popping up on the far post to head the ball home, but just over the bar that time. So close.
Kale, Christian Eggman is so dangerous in the air. It's so rare to see him lose a challenge. I hope I didn't put a commentator's curse as Gonzalez drives forward onto his left foot. Little deflection. Great save, Charlie. Oh, I almost thought it was in the back of the net, but he pushed it over the bar. Fantastic save in the end. It was a little hard to see from our angle up here in the booth, but the deflected shot from Gonzalez had to keep Charlie Lanfear on his feet.
Yeah, and just about got enough on it to tip it over that bar.
A yellow card was shown in that play. Juan Alvarez, I believe, was shown the yellow, and we're into 1 minute of added stoppage time in this first 45. It's Project 510 stand over a corner with a crowded 6-yard box. Goes into the mix, and it's Camille with the seconds, but heads it over the top, and you'd have to expect Ballard will look to see this half out and happy to go in 1-0 to the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Super important to hold strong, especially on a set piece right before halftime. Take us into halftime at 1-0.
Lanfear will go long with his goal kick. Wilkerson wins the initial. Luke Hammond, tigerish in defense, but a free kick going the opposing way. Center referee, Yannick Rothfuss, says he was too aggressive. And that's the halftime whistle. 46 minutes played. Ballard 1-0 through the efforts of an overlapping Luke Hammond. Fantastic service infield. Peter Kingston able to direct past goalkeeper Edwin Rodriguez. The Ballard crowd on their feet applauding their team as they walk away 1-0 to the better. Cale, at halftime here, what can you expect from head coach James Riley?
Yeah, I think he would just look for more of the same. I think Ballard's got that very, very important lead, and at this point, just manage the game. Manage the game. You don't want to give away too much, but keep pressing on that front foot.
And David Cordova, head coach for the Project 510. Obviously, not the first half result you might have wanted. What's the message for this team? How do you get them back and ready to go for the next 45?
Yeah, I think that 510 has had some attacks going forward. I think that Roque has had a very good half on the wing, and Duncan obviously poses a threat up front. So continuing to get service out wide, and like we've seen, they're very, very crafty when they get at the top of the box. So seeing if they can fashion an opportunity from there, but obviously not an easy task getting by the Ballard back line.
Well, time will tell, and we're going to take a 15-minute break here. We'll be back with you shortly. Halftime festivities are making their way here at Inter Bay Field. Pagliacci pitch. Cole Weaver in the booth sitting alongside Cale Spence. We'll be back with you shortly.
Albert Lee has a huge appliance selection.
The knowledge that we bring on behalf of the sales staff, you're going to get the right answer and an honest answer from the beginning.
We can provide them with any price point, and they get the same great customer service no matter what it is that they're looking for.
And with Albert Lee, we have basically every brand available, and we're not just trying to sell a product, we're selling what meets your needs.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades. Shop online or in-store at one of our 6 locations.
Hi, I'm Christian. I'm Austin, and this is Never Have I Ever.
Never have I ever broken a bone.
I missed a header, and like the ball like went by and like hit my finger. 2 minutes later, I was like, why does my hand feel weird? And I looked, and my finger was like pointed like sideways.
My pinky doesn't close because I broke it playing like wiffle ball with tape. So I thought it was like super cool to like try and catch it like all the way back. And I didn't catch it, and I fell, and I landed on my finger, and it was like backwards.
Wait, so you missed the catch?
That was the worst part.
Never have I ever dropped my phone in the toilet.
Ooh.
I haven't dropped my phone in the toilet, so I had an iPod Touch, and I took my iPod Touch 5th generation into the hot tub, and that was the worst day of my life. I lost my Clash of Clans account too.
Never have I ever fallen asleep in a team meeting.
Well, I have.
When?
Actually, this is too incriminating. I can't say anything.
Christian will not sit in the front row.
This dude sits in the front row like this.
Yeah, really? Oh,
I'm a student of the game.
We've been here since 1939. Who can say that? We're the oldest appliance company in the state of Washington. We do a better job than anybody out there, and we just have to go out and prove it every day.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
On the far side of the field.
There's nothing quite like an Albert Lee Appliance showroom. We're part of the community, and we carry over 90 brands and 11 exclusive brands you'll only find at Albert Lee.
We're the most beautiful showrooms in the area. We've got the best salespeople, and yet we're still one of the best price points in the industry.
We are a family. We take care of each other like family, and we take care of the customers like family.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Art is a celebration of our world and a crucial way to capture the stories and images around us. When we make art and when we appreciate art, we express what is valuable to us and make the world a more vibrant place. Art in the community allows a neighborhood to create a shared identity, establish a sense of place, and extend belonging. I'm Stevie Shao, and this is the Stevie Shao Kit with Ballard FC.
Draw the Space Needle. How would you rate your drawing skills from 1 to 10?
Good 3-7, probably.
Art class wasn't my finest time.
Finishing touches?
God, this is horrible.
Pencils down.
Yo, what the heck is that?
Oh.
I was trying to envision it, and it didn't come out like I wanted it to.
Can you guys draw a portrait of the Ballard FC founder, Sam?
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we talking whole face or body?
Shoot, I forgot his hair.
This is awful.
What is that? It's a portrait.
No,
not him in the distance.
Hope he appreciates the effort behind the product.
Are you a good artist?
Very artistic.
Who's first?
I won, so you go first.
Pierce is better in general.
Draw the Dix logo.
I think I'm gonna knock this one out the park.
I don't know how to draw a cursive.
Oh. I've messed it.
You're having fun?
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Ah, I missed a star.
I knew there was an apostrophe.
I kind of made my own logo for them. They could try use this one.
Mario?
Mario.
Oh, you think I look like Mario? The potato head is throwing me off a little bit. Good try.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Interbay Stadium. Pagliacci pitch. Cole Weaver sitting alongside Cale Spence. Cale, we've had ourselves an intriguing 45. It finishes so far Ballard 1, Project 510 0. And really down this near side, if we're identifying some of the threats that Ballard have been consistently posing, it's coming through the combination play of Peter Kingston, Luke Hammond, Richie Amon, and Alex Mejia. Those four are really causing some problems that Project 510 simply doesn't know how to handle right now. This halftime talk, we talked about it prior. It's really one of mentally getting back into the game, getting up to the speed of play, and rising to the challenge. But are there some tactical adjustments that, if you were the head coach, you would make to address that problem and potentially right the ship to get them back into this game?
Yeah, I think at the perspective of 510, you've simply got to provide more cover for Alex Save down that their right back is just being run at over and over and over by Richie Amon, and he's having a lot of success. So you need some way to help on that right-hand defensive side. As for Ballard, I think just continuing with the same token, I think attacking down that left-hand side and starting the same way you started the half. Come out nice and composed, feel the game out, and lean on your lead if you have to, and possibly build on it more.
And it's a cliche saying, but the next goal in this match is so important for obviously both teams, but it's well poised to go in either direction here. Ballard have been the dominant of the two sides from a possession point of view and on the scoreboard, but they've been in this position quite a few times through the year, and they've conceded goals in points in the match when it's against the run of play. So I'd imagine from a coaching staff point of view of David Cordova and his team, they're very well aware of this. So the message, if I were the coach, is look, 1-0 is not an awful scoreline. We know that this is an aggressive team. We know they're very prolific in front of goal. And it's really not a surprise that they've got one, especially with all the pressure that we've had to soak up. So that being said, trust that there will be opportunities to come for you. Believe in the fact that you're good enough to be here. And at the end of the day, execute when it matters most. Now, can they go out and do that? Ballard will look to do everything in their power to snuff that out. But that's the matchup we have here, and I'm really excited for this next 45 as we start to see the refs come back up on the field. The substitutes have been going through their warm-ups, and the teams will be coming out here shortly. Want to take a moment here as we have about 50 seconds left on the clock to thank some of our sponsors that we've consistently had throughout the season, one of which, Albert Lee. Ballard FC would like to thank Albert Lee Appliance for helping bring the matches live from this time, Interbay Stadium, normally Memorial Stadium through the year, free to you here on YouTube. They have over 90 brands of kitchen, laundry, and outdoor appliances for your home and friendly, knowledgeable staff to make sure you find exactly what you need. Albert Lee's committed to making your appliance buying experience the best it can be. For over 85 years, Albert Lee Appliance, the official appliance expert of the Pacific Northwest, and proud sponsor of Ballard FC. Thank you for everything you've done for us throughout the course of this year. Reminder, some of the implications of this game. The winner of this match will face United PDX, the team out of Portland, this upcoming Sunday afternoon at Interbay Stadium. At the moment, if this result holds, it'll be Ballard FC with a Pacific Northwest rematch against the number 1, number 2 teams. Project 510 will have everything to say to make sure that doesn't happen and continue their pursuit of national glory. Crowd showing their appreciation as the starting 11 makes their way back on the field. From my view here, it doesn't look like any changes have been made from either side. Likely to see those the 60th minute. The heat not as much of a problem as it was in the first game we had a couple hours ago. The sun is setting and it's a very perfect temperature kill. It could be a better atmosphere, weather, environment for soccer.
It's just beautiful, Cole. Everybody loves Interbay, don't we? And wow, what a game we've got. Ballard taking a 1-0 lead, just about to start the second half to potentially set up a little Seattle versus Portland rivalry in the next matchup. Let's get it done.
Each team's captains with some final words. I'd imagine the beer garden might have been run dry. I think I am seeing a substitute being made. If my eyes don't deceive me, I believe it's Chris Myers, University of Washington, defensive-minded player. If I had to guess, he's likely coming in for Luke Hammond. We'll confirm that in a moment. Confirmation of the substitution. It was, in fact, Chris Myers making his way on for Luke Hammond. Not surprised at the change. But ultimately, the Bridge Keepers are ready, the Ballard Faithful are ready, the Bush Keepers are ready as well, and we have second half soccer here. Pagliacci pitch. Ballard enter the fray, one to the better. Project 510 will do everything they can to shut the party down. Early ball over the top. looking for Julio Martinez. Alvarez calm in possession as ever. Juan Alvarez in a pocket of space, wins the throw. He pushing that ball, and Gaffney with a late burst of pace, but can't keep the play alive. Chris Myers, his first involvement in the game. Pressing the ball as they look to switch all the way around the near side of Esquivel. Long ball over the top, finding Derek Rock in the corner, squares up to the substitute, Myers. Ball is dropped back to Wilkerson. Eggman with the interception and looking to play out, and eventually cleared away with rather little nonsense by Myers.
Yeah, first touches for Myers. Just safety first, I think, especially 2 minutes into the half. No chances. Dangerous at the back there.
And no need to get cute with it, for sure. Eggman sticks out a toe, top down defending by Myers. Eventually helped by Alvarez and Peter Kingston. And once more, Richie Amon is so dangerous. Has to be a yellow card, and the referee obliges Eric Duncan, the next to be entered into the book. Professional foul, as we call it.
Again, Richie Amon just picking up the ball at feet and driving, causing such a threat for 5-1-0 and getting Duncan booked there.
Sean Sen restarts with Christian Eggman, Chris Myers. Alvarez to his fellow Alvarez, all the way through to Eggman. Great pickup, pocket of space. Chris Myers as he found himself inverted to his fellow right back Kai Briscoe, who's also inverted. Very common theme throughout the year, but a loose pass by Sean Sent. Can't find Richie Amon. I meant to mention at halftime, Kale, Roberto Gonzalez, number 55 in the middle of the park, probably one of the more dangerous players, in my opinion, for 5-1-0. He's had a couple opportunities, popped a couple shots on goal, and he's clearly got a rocket on him. So Ballard will definitely need to keep him locked up and not give him the space to shoot, because he's more than willing to and definitely more than capable.
Yeah, guys like Christian Eggman and Demian Alvarez doing very well to just keep their feet and keep him in front of them when he's getting in dangerous pockets on the top of the box.
Question we kept asking in the first game as well is how long will defensive solidarity hold out? How much pressure can they take? Is a good spell of possession here for the 5-1-0. Alex Sieve, infield, Omasnawi. Finds his way to Roberto Gonzalez. Great ball into Wilkerson, clean feet. Thought about the shot. Likes to go back to Gonzalez, who's definitely thinking about the shot, but can't make his way through a couple Ballard players, and they're looking to break through Charlie Gaffney. Gaffney continues his run as he's played infield to Amon. Amon pulled back once more, and the referee obliges. A keen eye on Richie Amon. Anytime he picks the ball up as he's likely to be fouled, it doesn't seem like they can stop him. But Ballard play quick. Richie Amon to the byline. Elects to cut back. Flashes past goal. Alex Mejia, the lone striker, can't connect. Gonzalez with a clever reverse ball. Julio Martinez able to receive Kai Briscoe in defense. Gonzalez once more infield to his right. Center back, Ulysses Esquivel with the long attempt off frame. Five minutes played and we've seen much of the same. A couple substitutes, a single substitute in a position of, I think, just shoring up the defensive responsibilities. I'd imagine Coach James Riley was favoring the defensive qualities of Chris Myers as we see Juan Alvarez driving and another tactical foul given and another yellow card being shown, this time for Ulysses Esquivel. Very well deserved. But from a Ballard perspective, great to see them breaking in the middle of the park, driving at the back line. This time it was Juan Alvarez.
Yeah, and he's so good at that. It's so important to have an 8 that can pick up the ball on the half turn and drive at the opposition like he's just done there. Again, buying another dangerous free kick.
Sean Sent surveying his options. Short to Peter Kingston. Myers with some close control out wide of the explosive Eamon, who this time is dealt with by Derek Rook. Derek Rook was a player that you mentioned and highlighted in our halftime talk, Kale, as definitely having some attacking opportunities, but you also mentioned the need for Alex Sieve to have some defensive support on that side of the pitch as he was getting absolutely torched by Richie Eamon. Likely, do we see Derek Rook having to sacrifice some of his attacking prowess to give that defensive opportunity, or is he just going to have to do both? Is it just a responsibility he's going to have to take?
Yeah, sometimes it's a management of both, but we'll see what the management for 510 elects to do, to send Roque higher up the field or to drop him back to try to cover the absolute danger man that is Richie Eamon.
That was a great touch in the middle of that from Peter Kingston, but ultimately dispossessed was Sean Sent. The game has reached a little bit of a pause as these two teams are starting to feel each other out and the tactical differences that they have. Chris Myers beaten in field and a great block by Christian Eggman as that ball was fired towards goals. Alex Mejia gives chase in a tussling match. Can't make his way out.
Oh.
Pocket almost picked by Charlie Gaffney, and Alex Mejia comes in strong and sees the yellow card shown his way. I think the referee's doing a decent job of maintaining the consistency. Probably worthy. I think Ulysses Esquivel made the most of that challenge, but I think it was all the same a worthy yellow.
Cole, I will say 510 does look confident in the second half. They're coming out and they're maintaining good possession of the ball, maybe partially because Ballard's sitting a little bit deeper, maybe protecting that lead, but 510 is forcing the issue. They're keeping on possession of the ball and circulating very, very well throughout these first 10 minutes.
And definitely the halftime talk helped with the confidence, as you put it. We're seeing some of their key players, such as Roberto Gonzalez, getting on the ball as he is here. Kai Briscoe, great interception as to read the play, but the seconds land to Julio Martinez. Charlie Lamphere pounces on it and does enough to maintain, but a flashpoint once more as the little man made his way into the box, got a shot off. But the confidence building for 510, as you mentioned, Kale. Would not be surprised to see a couple Ballard substitutes in the coming minutes, as they definitely have some firepower on the bench.
Yeah, and we look to have a couple 5-1-0 substitutes getting going here. We'll see what sort of a difference that can make.
Yeah, we'll do our best to see. Looks like 2 5-1-0 players making their way onto the field when they have the opportunity. Looks like a couple Ballard players getting ready as well. I'm very excited for the introduction of a player that we have sorely missed. Substitutes for Project 510 making their way onto the pitch. Number 53, Jude Stone. Number 64, Samuel Vilata Huesa. Making his way off is number 56, Ulysses Esquivel. And trying to identify the other player that made way. Looks like it was number 62, Eric Duncan, the large, imposing center forward. So a positional change on the width maybe counteracts some of the pace that's likely going to enter the field here as we see some Ballard subs being prepared. Along with some width of their own to ask some more questions of the Ballard back line. Peter Kingston making his way forward to the isolated Alaskiv. Finds his support, but Peter Kingston brings him to the end line, clips the ball to the back post. It's Alex Mejia on it.
Yeah.
Oh. And it's the substitute, Huesa, who does enough to force the issue, and Alex Mejia ends up skying his shot. Derek Rook looks like he's moved himself into more of a central position. This is a very free-flowing 5-1-0 team. We can't pinpoint any solid positioning. It's definitely one of their strong suits, as it's never a similar matchup. The Ballard defenders having to stay on their toes consistently. And the Ballard substitutes make their way onto the pitch. Joey Dale making his appearance today, and it looks like Charlie Gaffney making his way off. And the other, I'm extremely excited to welcome back to the Ballard FC team as Juan Alvarez makes his way off, the one and only Takeru Onendera.
Take.
So great to see him back after he struggled with a couple injuries and illnesses. A very close friend of mine. He's giving me the green light to talk about some of these things, as it might be close-held information for others, but he was actually diagnosed with vestibular neuritis. Essentially, it's a condition that affects a nerve in your inner ear and connects to your brain and messes with balance and head position. And it was obviously a condition that prevented him from playing any sort of soccer. So he elected to take some time and focus on his studies, as he is a very good student, in addition to being a fantastic soccer player. But making his return, and he's back to full fitness here in a very vital point in the season, slotting into that midfield role alongside Sean Sent and Peter Kingston. Kale, what does Take provide? Obviously, you're very familiar with his game, as we've had some experiences playing alongside him. What does he provide to this team, and especially in this type of game?
Cole, he's an unbelievable player. You'll see it here, but he just provides a bit of balance, a bit of everything. He can pick up the ball and maintain the tempo. He can win challenges. He can drive forward. And obviously, we've seen earlier this season, he can score goals and he can score bangers.
Yeah, Richie Amon driving, as he's been so dangerous through the box. Takeno Onendera, one of the options, doesn't quite fall to him. Alvarez keeps the ball alive. Chris Meyer helps it on its way. Looking to win the ball back quickly, but skipped out to the near side of Huesa. Joe Dale with the good defensive efforts. Takeno Ondera picks up the loose pieces. One-time ball in behind Peter Kingston and acres of space. Alex Sieve is a little bit out of position. Left-footed service to the back post is Alex Mejia. Alexa take a touch. Takeno Ondera is an option off the left foot, and he scuffs his opportunity. Goal kick in the end.
Yeah, it's a good move, and obviously with Take coming on the pitch, brings a lot of balance, but also Joe Dale. He'll bring tons of energy and quality, as we've seen there, winning the ball back and enabling Ballard to hit 5-1-0 on the counter.
Joe Dale, a player, the youngest ever Ballard FC player, back a couple seasons ago when you and I were playing with the team, Kale, a Roosevelt senior in high school at the time. And he came onto the scene, such a crafty, direct, strong runner of the ball, and he's just continued to develop with his time at University of Washington. Scored some fantastic goals through the season. One that I can highlight is a fantastic left-footed half volley, fired into the near post. But as you mentioned, he brings everything to the game, and I think these are very good subs from head coach James Riley, solidifying the defensive responsibilities as well as providing an opportunity the other direction. Damian Alvarez looking for a slide ball in between, but finds Joe Dale. Alvarez picks up in a central 6 location. Mejia offers. Oh, that ball very close to being picked up outside the box. The near side referee said everything was okay, so we play on. Takeno Ondera gives chase. Far side, Chris Myers doing enough against substitute Jude Stone. Corner kick for the 5-1-0. The match has entered just a little bit of a lull. Both teams continuing to feel each other out early in this half as the ball's clipped aimlessly over into the Ballard crowd. Kel, I think these are where the dark arts of football really enter.
Absolutely.
Charlie Lanford taking all the time in the world here. Likes to go short to Christian Eggman. Eventually away, asking quite a bit of Mejia, but does very well to find Kingston. Eventually can't get past his defender and takes an elbow to the face for his efforts, but play continues. Kingston down on the far side. Gonzalez squares up Onandera to the far post, and Lanfear collects very well and immediately distributes. We're going to take a pause in play, though, as Peter Kingston is needing some treatment as he holds his face. I think it was an unintentional elbow as players collided and came forward, hoping to see him make his way back to his feet and continue. As we're seeing the replays from earlier today, Peter Kingston making his way into the box from a fantastic service. It might have ended up being an own goal in the end. It was difficult to tell, even on the replays. But Ballard won't care they're one better to the cause. Peter King's on the far side here as we see him taking a moment.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. Obviously, an unfortunate incident, just a flailing arm to the face.
And it looks like it's Ray Mendez make his way into the fold for Peter Kingston, who can't continue, but Ray Mendez, a player with plenty of quality, as we've seen throughout this season. Crafty, high energy, technical player that can really create a spark for this side that's, to be honest, gone a little bit stale. We've talked about Ballard's complacency being 1-0 up. I'm going to see to continue their pursuit to find the second. Great ball fired out here to the near side of Julio Martinez. Joe Dale again
What
with
a
the strong
tackle.
defensive efforts. Plenty of space to run into. Skips past his defender. He's got a couple options, and great ball played out wide to the danger man of Richie Amon. Joe Dale's trailing on the top of the box, but Amon drives himself. The ball stays in play somehow. And 5-1-0 come away with it. This game's opened up just a little bit. Combination of Onandera and Eggman forcing Derek Roque back. Peter Kingston making his way to the into the medical staff tent room, to the applause of the Ballard FC fans, again hoping he's okay.
Give that man a standing O.
Yeah, he
Great work tonight from Peter.
Definitely deserves it. This game's not finished yet, as Onandera getting himself involved as he usually does. Long looping ball to the near side here of Huesa. Infield to Roque, but Joe Dale once more showing why James Riley put the trust in him to make his way onto the pitch and provide additional defensive solidarity to what's already there. Briscoe with the long throw, and Ray Mendez giving chase. Rodriguez elects to go long. Kai Briscoe calm in possession, almost too calm. Ends up getting away with it. Ballard FC crowd getting involved in a game where it's been a little bit of a chess match, and this crowd is used to fireworks. Definitely expecting more from this 11, as Lanphier will have a talking to, and center referee saying no more repositioning of the ball. As we talked about, Cale, dark arts being employed.
You know, Cole, they're the best when you've got the lead, and they're the worst when you don't. And Ballard obviously benefiting from that, but the referee is quick onto it, only 70 minutes in.
Hopefully keeps the standard, and Joe Dale,
That challenge.
so strong. And he wins possession and comes away with it. Project 510 player on the deck. We're going to take a pause and play to check in. It's the substitute, Samuel Huesa, who's on the ground. That was a crunching challenge from the Roosevelt graduate, Joey Dale. Not one to shy away from a 50-50, I'll tell you that from personal experience.
He loves it.
And I think Huesa took one where the sun don't shine. Kai Briscoe on the near side here. Throw in to restart. Looping ball forward to the target, number 9, Mejia. Double flick on eventually to Roque, and cleaned up well by Engman. And Roque is asking for a free kick. And Caleb, being honest, I think he has a case. He was pulled back as he skipped by, I believe it was Alvarez. For a brief second, there was a hand on the shoulder that slowed him down. But I think regardless, Engman was getting there, and that might have been what the referee saw.
Yep, I think you're right, just on the line, but unreal cover from Christian Engman again, tracking across to make the challenge.
Gonzalez coming in field. We identified him as a danger man, but it's again Joe Dale once more. And again, and he fist bumps to the crowd as he wins the throw-in for his side. These are the moments that win games. So vital to build the energy back in this stadium that's just gone a little bit stale. Ali El Masnawi making his way off the pitch for a substitute in the 72nd minute for Project 510.
Cole, you'd got to think at some point here, 510's got to make some sort of a system change.
Oh, what a ball that is from Ray Mendez. Sorry to cut you off, Kale, but needed to be recognized. Richie Amon in plenty of space. Elects to come in field, finds Joe Dale, who deserves a goal on his left foot. Gonzalez challenging. Takedo Onadera challenging. And eventually a throw-in is given for Ballard. Kale, what was your thought there? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good. I think Joe Dale's brought such incredible energy to this game, winning so many challenges in a short space of time, and that's exactly what you need in such a tense atmosphere and close contest here.
And I think it's important to remember as well, the next match for the victor of this 90-minute match will come on Sunday, so only essentially 24 hours of rest to be had. Monitoring legs and monitoring fitness, something on both of the coaching staff's mind, but Coach James Riley is in a much more favorable position at the moment, obviously leading 1-0. Whereas this is the point in the season where you lose and you're out.
Yeah, it's always hard to think about legs, Cole, and you've got a game that's still there to be won, and you got to finish the job before thinking about resting for the next game. But you do your best with the players that you have, and thankfully Ballard have got such a strong roster, top to bottom, that they can look to the bench to help get us over the line.
Yeah, they really do, and those subs are definitely showing it. So we see a replay here of Richie Amon coming in field. Ballard faithful making a little bit of noise. Kai Briscoe is looking to throw this ball in. Seeing a group of young fans cheering on their heroes. Joe Dale with a service in the box. Ends up going straight into the air. Mejia tries to get underneath it as well as Mendez. Chris Myers.
Well done. Oh.
Unfairly being called for a foul and ends up receiving a yellow for kicking the ball away. A little bit uncharacteristic of the University of Washington defender. Now he'll have to walk the tightrope for the last 15 minutes plus stoppage time.
Yeah, I think he's unlucky there. Loses out the free kick call, and then referee decides to book him for tapping the ball away.
it's by the book, it has to be said, but
Yeah.
contextually, maybe a little soft. The play continues. Rodriguez stuttering, but finding Gonzalez. Does very well to flick it on to the preceding Wilkinson on the far side. Is one of the substitutes. Infield, back to Wilkinson. Excuse me, Wilkerson. Wilkerson once more, clean feet onto his left. Wilkerson goes down, likely looks like with a little bit of cramp. See if he'll be able to continue. Doesn't look like many 510 players are very ready to get introduced to this game. Long looping service. Kai Briscoe. We're okay with the attempted control, but away by Alvarez. And a free kick given Ballard's way. Kale, what would you prefer Ballard do here? Would you prefer them continue to pursue a second goal and press, or maybe move into a little bit of more defensive formation, possession-oriented long ball? How do you go about this last 12 minutes or so?
Yeah, it's a good question, Cole. I think that Ballard's doing a very good job of having great defensive stability back there. And so I would continue in that manner. And in the same note, they're also very good in breaking away very quickly. They've got fast players. Richie Amon, as we've seen all match long, and Joe Dale up the right-hand side can cause a threat on the breakaway. So not to say that Ballard should sit back and soak up pressure, but they're doing a good job so far and still causing a threat.
As we saw the service straight into the hands of Rodriguez, who's been a little bit wayward with his service throughout the evening. Richie Amon once more, we've said his name plenty, finds his way to Alex Mejia, back to goal, can't find a teammate. Christian Eggman so strong and gives away a free kick. It's played quickly, cut out very well by Alvarez. In fact, so well.
Done.
Eggman was a way to come away with it, and such a great touch once more by Chris Myers. Ballard FC are quickly making their way up the pitch. Myers elects to give the freedom to run to Richie Amon, and for once this match, a strong challenge and a wayward pass by Onodera. And I think this is the final go at it for Project 510, as looks like Cam Wilkerson, who is struggling with cramp a moment ago, is making his way off, along with Julio Martinez. Making their way onto the pitch. Juan Sanchez, number 52.
Appears to have gone up front, with Roque sliding back out to that right-hand side.
And it was Javier Bedoya Vera who came on alongside him to slot into the central midfielder position. I think the plan has gone accordingly so far for Ballard. Hasn't been any major injuries, knock on wood. I don't want to put the commentator's curse, but very important at this stage in the tournament to keep everybody healthy. Ray Mendez with a flick on, and Richie Amon's in plenty of space. He's making his way forward, and he's brought down in the box. The referee waves away any sort of allegations. Unbelievable from my point of view up here, and the crowd agrees with me. But the play continues through Take Onodera. Kai Briscoe is brought down, but Joe Dale continues. Driving to the byline, once more in the box, and another challenge. This time much more fairly. Briscoe loses his footing. 5-1-0 come away. Ballard in all sorts of disarray positionally. Chris Myers doing great defensive work to slow up the offender. Ball comes in field, and once more Alvarez picks his pocket and away by Engman. Brave header by Onandera.
Far side.
As Alex Mejia is trying to see the oncoming runner, but elects to turn back to Joe Dale. Strong challenge centrally. Ballard loses possession.
It's all happening here at Inter Bay, end to end.
The game's opening up just a little bit as two final substitutes are getting ready for Ballard. Onto the near side is Huesa in plenty of space, and again, defensive strength shown by Damian Alvarez away for a corner in front of the beer garden.
He's been class tonight, hasn't he? Mopping up any sort of danger, him and Christian Engman.
Ballard chance are beginning as they look to defend this corner late in the match. Crowded 6-yard box once more. In swinging service all the way to the back post, and it's won originally by, I believe that was Mejia doing his defensive duties, and Lanphier calmly collects. Great build up here. As Ray Mendez fights Joe Dale, ever willing runner, isolated. Driving centrally. Ray Mendez picks up but can't connect. Just out of sorts as they look to combine. And away comes Gonzalez the other direction. Onandera squaring up with him. Cute ball in behind. Kai Briscoe getting a foot in. Ball to the central, and it's in! Project 510 have scored! I wasn't able to see the number, but there's no question from the center referee. They have leveled this match, 83 minutes played, and it is heartbreak for the Ballard FC faithful. Kale, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
The inability to put away chances and put this game away. You and I are Chelsea fans, and for our personal sakes, we have seen this over and over with our team. Playing so well for 80, 85 minutes, and then just one moment can really change the dynamic of this match.
Sure is similar, but what a class move that was from 510. Little slip pass into the center forward, and a brilliant cutback ball and a calm, composed finish into the far corner. But gotta hope that there's some life with energy and legs in Take and Joe Dale coming on, and further subs now to see if we can pick this game back up.
Confirmation of the goal scorer is number 53, Jude Stone, the substitute who ended up burying the ball. But it was Rafi Otero coming onto the pitch along with, I believe, Isaac Ketchum. As Chris Myers is pushed forward into the left wing position, Ketchum sits a little deeper. Reminder for everybody, extra time is valid here. 2 15-minute overtime periods, which would be followed by penalty kicks. We need to walk away with a winner.
I'd love to hear the energy from the crowd when Ballard need it most. Up those bridges, fans.
Okay, and a little bit of space and pulls the trigger, but pulls it too far to the near side. Goal kick. Ballard have used all of their substitutes. And I believe so have Project 510. So these are the 11 players that will decide who continues in the national tournament to the conference semifinals this Sunday at Interbay. Will it be the defending 2023 national champions Ballard FC or the challengers looking for revenge, Project 510 out of Oakland, California? Time will tell. Joe Dale looks for a long switch and just finds the goalkeeper's hands. Rodriguez goes long. Picked up by Gonzalez on the far side. Wins a throw. Long throw launched in, won by Christian Eggman. Onandera collects. Kill, it has to be said, if Ballard score before this 90 minutes is up, you'd have to imagine this place is going to erupt.
I can't wait for it, personally.
We are here for it. I'm sorry for any Project 510 fans. We can't help it. We're biased. Ultimate transparency. We're doing our best in the booths here. Sean Sent has worked tirelessly through this half, and Rafi Otero, fresh legs, very welcome. Chris Myers makes his way forward. Sean Sent on the pivot, likes to go back the direction the ball came from. Joe Dale looking to get on the end of it, wins the throw. Crowd finding their voice as the ball is served into the top of the box, straight through Mendez and Onandera. Another ball served back in, all the way through once more. Offside flag is raised, and I think we're seeing another cramp here. Fitness will likely be a factor if this game goes to extra time. We're seeing some of the subs or the replays here of the most recent goal by Project 510. It's a great cutback, and it has to be said, he's in way too much space alone. From a 510 perspective, he's found a great pocket and made no mistake to put it past goalkeeper Lamphere. Couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's such a smart cutback ball. You see the back forward dropping off and just looking to slip that ball towards the penalty spot for a waiting runner. And that's exactly what happened. But
Seattle Sounders chants being made here in Interbay Stadium. Short restart in play here as we restart through Rodriguez. Ray Mendez slippery in possession, and he's yanked back. I would ask for some consistency from the ref, as that feels like a yellow card offense.
It's a bit cynical.
And he does obligate. Thank you, sir. brief stoppage in play here as Ballard load the box. It's Rafi Otero standing over this, looking to launch one into the penalty area. And Kale, if I'm a goalkeeper, I am not happy with where that line is set, as this ball is traveling a long distance and has the opportunity to be right on top of Edwin Rodriguez. As we're seeing Christian Eggman underneath, wins the first. Damian Alvarez wins the second. And it's Joe Dale on the end of it. Ends up giving away a foul. But whenever a goalkeeper sets his line on top of the 18, they're just inviting pressure.
Yeah, especially from such a deep free kick, Cole. A little surprising to see that.
I've seen it time and time again. I've been coached it. I've coached it myself. I've experienced it as a player. If I'm Ballard, I'd want to exploit that and continue to win free kick opportunities and load the box. Seven minutes of stoppage time added. Plenty of time for drama in either direction. Who is willing to sacrifice the energy to go and get this win? Ballard continuing their possession as they have done throughout the entirety of this season. Rodriguez launches it long. Eventually won by Eggman. A little bit of pinball and eventually settles for Rodriguez with a great ball over the top. Lanfear in a little bit of no man's land. Ball comes through and 5-1-0 have scored. Oh no. From a 5-1-0 perspective, it's heaven. From a Ballard FC perspective, it's hell. Another slick movement by the 5-1-0. Charlie Lanfear was caught in no man's land. He elected not to come, and he ended up getting punished for it as it gets slotted through his legs. Kale, I have to be critical here. He needs to be flying out of his box and smothering that, giving no space and no opportunity for the attacker.
Yeah, it's a real unfortunate one. Kind of comes halfway, but take nothing away from the finish. He's looked for a gap with a tight angle, and he's found it between the legs of the goalkeeper.
Three more minutes to save Ballard's season. Can they pull off a miracle? The dark arts have now been flipped, and everything will be done by the 5-1-0 to take time off the clock. Substitutes are being readied. Keeper taking his time. Eggman wins the initial header. Onandera coming in strong for the challenge and is penalized for his efforts.
Yeah, 5-1-0 gonna try to take off any amount of seconds they possibly can here with a late lead.
And it's Ilya Al-Kassiv making his way off. I believe the final substitute to enter the fray. Jacob Lepore making his way on, number 43. Corner flag will do for 5-1-0. Ballard will look to do anything they can to get back possession and get to the other end of the field. They have about 1.5 minutes plus any additional added time for some time wasting that may be generously added from the center referee. Ballard crowd doing their best to get behind their team. Otero challenges. Mendez doing his best as well, but Gonzalez is onside. He was in his own half when that ball was played, but Christian Eggman so strong in defense. Ballard make their way forward. Sean Sent looking to create an opportunity over the top. It's Chris Myers. A couple options centrally as Myers makes his way end line. Ball is flicked on, but no one to pick up the pieces. It's Isaac Ketchum all the way in defense. And there's no time for possession here. Ballard need to bring this ball forward and create an opportunity. Sean Sent fires the ball out wide, a little bit aimlessly, but eventually makes his way to Otero, who does elect to find a service straight into the hands of Edwin Rodriguez, and we've had all 7 minutes of stoppage time played. How much is the referee going to give him?
Fans helping him out.
Anywhere will do. As Roque picks up the pieces and wins the throw for his side and taking away ever more precious seconds. Seems like the referee is very aware of some of these actions here. Into the corner flag they go, and maybe one more opportunity for Ballard to keep this season alive. If not, a huge upset will be had here. Making his way forward.
It's Demian Alvarez, auxiliary striker.
Anything will do at this point. But the referee blows full time, and it is heartbreak for Ballard FC. And it is pure joy for the 5-1-0 as they have come back here and beaten the national champions at their home field. Cale, I'm a little speechless. I can't lie. I don't think many people saw this coming.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Cole. It's a absolutely heartbreaking loss in a game that, you know, Ballard really had one hand on it and just kind of didn't capitalize on some chances. And sometimes that'll happen. Couple moments of quality from 5-1-0, and they're able to escape with the win.
It feels stolen at the end, but credit to 5-1-0 for staying in the game. And they worked hard to produce the comeback and two very well-worked goals in the end. And it finishes here at Interbay Stadium. Ballard FC 1. Project 510, 2. On Sunday, Project 510 will face United PDX, who won earlier today against Almaden FC. It was the lone goal from Peter Kingston that got Ballard into this match early, but they couldn't hold on. As later, it was a combination of Jude Stone